I thank God, thank God, thank God in the mighty name of King Jesus. And I'm going to get ready to go down here. The probation is going to be a little later on. It's probably going to be around like 7:30 when I leave or something, maybe close to 8 o'clock. So I don't get down there too early to make sure y'all got no excuse for nobody not being there. But I was just thinking about this, and I'm going to have to touch on this subject. God just really just telling me this, and the bigger picture of it is like hypocrisy and how great the spiritual law is over the physical law. Okay, because I want to say this. I'm going to start off right here. Like, you can do something physically in a different manner, but spiritually, it's the same thing. It's the same thing in God's eyes. And, it's partiality. And the Word of God said this, Romans 2 and, let me see, is that Romans 2 and 11? Yeah, I think it's Romans 2 and 11. For there is no respect of persons with God. Okay, let me go right here. Okay, for there is no respect of persons with God. Okay, and this is where I want to say, like, I just had this thought, and this is the truth. Like, we're gonna start out like people judging, judging things and like the hypocrisy in it. Okay, we're gonna start out like people gonna judge the pedophile that's messing around with kids. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Okay, a pedophile messing around with kids. Guess what? And this how it's gonna stem down. The LGBT is gonna bring judgment. Oh, he's messing with kids, and they're gonna condemn him, just so to speak. They're gonna condemn him, right? And then guess what's going? Then guess what else? Now the straight man or the straight woman who, they just heterosexual, just so to speak. They're gonna condemn the LGBT and the pedophile. Okay, and now the married couple, they're gonna condemn the the heterosexual person that's fornicating, and they're going to condemn the they're going to condemn the LGBT, and they're going to condemn the pedophile. Okay, and I gotta find this. It's in Romans. Okay, and um, this is where I want to go with it though. This is what I'm saying. It's like, okay, we're gonna start out with the pedophile. Now the pedophile is, messing around with kids. Okay, so now you got the pedophile, and he got a charge of child molestation, child pornography, something like that. Okay, now that's the physical charge. The spiritual charge that he's going to have against God is going to be sexual perversion and sexual immorality. Okay, so he's wrong in front of God's eyes. What he did is wrong. Okay, now the LGBT, they're making all these rights, these human right laws. So in the physical, they're justified in an aspect. Okay, and they're gonna bring judgment if you speak about a pedophile in them. I hate people around here messing with children and all that stuff. They're gonna say that type of stuff. Okay, see, they're not doing that physically. So just say like they don't have anything physically that's going to incriminate them, because LGBT and that type of thing is being embraced in society now. But physically, I mean spiritually, they have the same charge that the pedophile has: sexual perversion and sexual immorality. And I'm going to say why they have the same charge as sexual immorality and sexual perversion, messing with kids. Okay, and it's spiritually, and it's sexual perversion and sexual immorality with the LGBT thing, because in Leviticus 18 and 22, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. Okay, and they most definitely doing oral and they doing anal, and that's wrong. Okay, so they got the same charge spiritually. Remember that: sexual perversion and sexual immorality. But they condemning the pedophile. Now we're gonna stem on up to the heterosexual people that's not married, the unmarried. Now they're fornicating because they're not married. Physically, they don't have a charge against them. Spiritually, they have a charge against them. They got the same charge that the pedophile got. They got the same charge that the LGBT got. Sexual perversion, sexual immorality. Okay? Yeah, because guess what? They're fornicating. Fornicating, sexual immorality, sexual perversion, because if you unmarried, you know, you most definitely probably, you got perversion in your bed. Some way you got perversion in there anyway, because you're unmarried anyway. But even so to speak, you probably most definitely probably doing oral or you doing anal, and that's sexual perversion. And even it's even go even more than that. But see, that ain't the whole focus. That ain't the end of it. Okay, and now you got, so they got the same. They all got the same charges spiritually, but they judging each other about the physical thing that's done. Okay, they all doing different physical things, but spiritually they're all doing the same thing. Now you got the married couple. Okay, now the married couple judging the fornicator, judging the LGBT, and they judging the pedophile. But guess what? Some of these married couples got the same charge that the LGBT got, the fornicator got, and the pedophile got. Because guess what? A lot of married couples got the same thing in their bedroom. They got sexual perversion in their bedroom, sexual perversion, sexual immorality. Okay, because guess what? A lot of married couples, and that's why they find justified. They find justified to do oral, and a lot of people out here with the anal. Okay, just be honest. I ain't want to have to say that stuff, but that stuff is out here, and that's just the truth about it. And it's what they got the same charges, sexual perversion, and they feel justified because they're married, but that's stuff you ain't supposed to be doing. Okay? And guess what? And see, they're bringing judgment and condemnation against others when they're doing the same thing. And I gotta find this verse in the Bible. And I'm going to find it, and hold on, because I'm about to pause this so I can find this. Okay, here it is. I was already right there almost. Thank God in the mighty name of King Jesus. And see, this is where the hypocrisy lies in, and that's what the bigger thing of it is. It says, "Thou therefore, which teachest another, teachest not thyself. Thou that preachest a man should not steal, dost thou steal? Thou that says a man should not commit adultery, dost thou commit adultery? Thou that arborest idols, dost thou commit scarlet? Thou that makest thy boast of the law, thou through breaking the law dishonorest thou God." Okay, you see what I'm saying? You talking about, people doing this. See, people ain't understanding because they doing something physically. Okay, you talking about and it's because everybody trying to up themselves and be over someone. The LGBT talking about the pedophile, and the pedophile, and the heterosexual person talking about the LGBT and the pedophile, and then the married person talking about the heterosexual person that's unmarried, the LGBT, and the pedophile. And they all doing different things, maybe physically, but spiritually they doing the same defiling thing, and they got the same charge. They all got sexual perversion and sexual immorality in front of God, and see, the spiritual is higher than the physical. And see, that's the thing. See, that's what God looking from that perspective. You looking at this physical thing like, I ain't doing nothing, I'm married, or I ain't doing nothing, I'm straight. The LGBT, why you judging me? And the pedophile, they really ain't got no, they ain't no justification for that. So, but all these things are spiritually the same. You got the same charge: sexual immorality, sexual perversion, and you judging one another. That's where it say, take the plank out of your own eye before you try to take the plank out of your brother's eye. And people ain't seeing that. But that's just a thing. And the whole thing of it is, you see that hypocrisy in there. And that's just, compare that to Romans 2:21. Thou therefore which teachest another, teachest not thyself. Okay? Thou that preachest a man should not steal, dost thou steal? You really, spiritually, you talking about someone committing sexual sin and sexual perversion, but you committing the same sexual perversion. But people so blind they don't even see it, because it ain't physically the same, but spiritually it's the same. So I'm gonna let that go right there, and I'm gonna leave that right there. Thank God, thank God, thank God. And I gotta head down here and let God keep me in every way, and whatever God what's gonna happen. And you know So hopefully I'll be back later on today. Thank God in the mighty name of King Jesus.